Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Real Talks. I'm your host, David Steele, along with Kyle. How are you, Kyle?
I'm doing great, David. How are you?
Fantastic. This is the last roundup of the of 2022, guys.
Oh, wow.
Believe it or not. So, and boy, is it loaded for you guys. Okay, so we're no off the tops today. We're just going to cut right to it. So, our first story is involving Netflix. And so, of course, Netflix is the king of I won't say king, but they are at the top of the mountain when it comes to streaming. And so it really it's interesting to see how everything that they what they do and how they do it. So first and foremost, they have now, as of November 3rd, they have now introduced a advertising tier at $6.99. So now, obviously, there is a larger amount of money you can pay. I think it's $10.99 or $11.99 that you can pay if you don't want ads. So starting on the 21st of December, which about a week ago, they are now cracking down on basically passwords that you have to have a better password, but moreover than that, account sharing. So before, as everybody knows, I would be on Kyle's account or he would be on my account, and so they don't want that because what they're trying to do is to get every single person to pay for a membership or a subscription. So first and foremost, Kyle, I know we've talked about this briefly. So you said you're not in favor of any ads. You just want to watch it without any ads, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, if you're paying for a service, then you have to basically have to do that. But there's another little interesting thing that's transpiring with Netflix, and that is Glass Onion. And this movie just does not want to, I won't say go away. So Glass Onion was released, I think the 22nd or 23rd, about a week ago. Now, according to Netflix, this had 82 million hours viewed in the first 3 days. And you say, oh, that's impressive. Well, now that's the sixth largest, by the way. So there's only 5 other films that actually have more, which I'll get to in a minute. But it just makes you wonder, if it was viewed 82 million hours in the first 3 days, let me ask you this, Kyle. Do you think they regret pulling that because they left that much money on the table?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's such a weird. I'm still just baffled at the decision Netflix made by only giving it a 1-week theatrical release and a limited one at that. It wasn't even really wide. I think they left a whole ton of money on the table, of course. I think they also, unfortunately, left out a lot of viewers to watch it because I don't know about you, David, but like my aunt and uncle, they don't have Netflix. They would have seen Glass Onion in theaters if it was still playing right now, but now they can't because it's now only on Netflix. And I'm sure there's a number of people out there, especially people that we got to keep in mind that I think a lot of older people don't really have streaming services, or they have accounts based on their families. And I think a lot of those audience members would see Glass Onion like a couple of weeks after it came out. And I think that if it was released in theaters, it would have a strong like week-to-week number, just like the first Knives Out did. And that's the sad thing about it. It doesn't make sense why they did that. It felt once again like Netflix was being greedy and they wanted to just keep more people coming to their service. And And it's kind of funny because like they could have made more money too. Like they just threw the money out the window. It's
they were just like $100 bills up.
right.
So these are the 5 films. Now you got to understand, guys. This is the first 3 days of viewing. Okay, so real quick, The Unforgivable, starring Sandra Bullock. Now, when I say these numbers to you, you guys got to remember something. This is millions of hours. Okay, that's how big. 85.8 million hours. A film that I know you're not too fond of, The Gray Man, starring Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling. We won't linger on this. 88.5 million hours. The Adam Project, 92.4 million hours. This is the first 3 days, guys. Okay? Don't Look Up, which, was last year, 111 million hours. And Red Notice, 148 million hours in 3 days. So it just goes to show you that if they actually were to keep their films in theaters, let's say a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, even a month, they would actually get all that revenue plus the revenue stream they would be getting from Netflix, because you could, if you liked it, you could watch it as many times as you wanted. So it just, it is what it is. Well, we'll see what happens. It's a phenomenal movie. I mean, if you want to go back and listen to our spoiler cast of Glass Onion. And I loved it. So what do you guys think? Do you think Netflix left money on the table? Do you think they should have kept it in the theaters longer? If so, how long? Leave us your thoughts down in the comments.